have to keep them busy praying for mercy from other gods, won't I?
All's well here. The cargo from below has already been taken to the docks.
Don't get too close to the prisoners. They're desperate enough to try anything.
Enjoy the view. This feels like it'd stretch all the way to the Sea of Swords on a clear day. If this place ever gets a clear day. I'm afraid you missed the ship, Trousseau, but there'll be another along soon enough. We're already stacking the cargo. Baldur's Gate. The army marches overland, but we sent some friends ahead to smooth the way. Locals need to see hard truth. Take their place in hard design. Or they don't, and we send them to meet the old gods they cling to. Doesn't matter much either way. Nothing of note. Just supplies for the battle ahead. I've already checked it twice over.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Right you are, I suppose. Check away.
A wave of sick familiarity radiates from one barrel amidst the cargo. Tadpoles. Sleeping and scarcely aware, but echoing yours 100-fold.
Look at them all. Enough to infect an entire army.
The winged serpent of the Zentarim. It seems their pursuit of profit extends even here. A pattern of blank minds newly born. They carry only a bare shred of memory, inherited from something older. A sleep of centuries. The birth and destruction of a settlement above forming only background noise to the dream. Until something descended down into the darkness, and the dreamer awoke.
Void of essence, void of purpose. We cannot allow their birth.
Not for communal.
Stand clear of the cargo. Respectfully, Trousseau. They're not to be opened until they reach the city. The Absolute smiles on them that follow orders. And I don't plan on being a guard for long, Trousseau. Thank you.
Look busy or they'll set you lifting too. Whatever's inside's heavy.
You're being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. bribery attempt has caused some offense. Violence it is.
Nature shall be defended, at any cost. Sylvanus, let me strike.
Nothing will stand in my way. Blood comes easy these days.
Back to the anus that spat you out.
Can't afford to let up.
I am fury. I am death. Let my name be known.
From here. No choice but to keep going. Let's get this over with.
Got to focus. Got to press on. Time to meet your maker.
yield. Sylvanas, guide my step.
Still breathing, despite everything. Nothing important is ever easy.
Death becomes you.
I will ascend.
Daytona! Daytona!
Let us see the battle won.
Can't even catch my breath. I won't give in.
Begone, spacing moon.
Can't give up. Victory awaits. This is your end.
Daytona! Daytona! A little help, please.
Nature's fury shall not be checked. Sylvanas, guide my blows.
Survival is all that matters.
Let's finish this. Time to strike.
All's well that ends as bad as it killeth.
What comes next?
Indolence breeds madness.
Let's move.
last much longer.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
You're mistaken, surely.
I am not.
But we've seen... what? 5 true souls sent for an audience?
And not a single one came back down from the tower top. Must have been unworthy.
It is impossible to keep a garment clean down here.
You'll find it all the harder once we're off on the march.
If you think I'm walking all the way to Baldur's Gate without a litter, you don't know me at all.
Oh, of course. Perhaps our prisoners can be your bearers. Fine view from Gnomeback, I expect. All's well here. The cargo from below has already been taken to the docks. You ought to be kinder, you know, to the prisoners, I mean.
Be a dear and strike me deaf. Our guests are especially sobby today.
Cannot hear you. She has forsaken you.
There are no gods left to you, Minthara. You are alone.
You were adored, Minthara. Brought up from the darkness and into the Absolute's light.
She cherished you, but it wasn't enough. You were distracted by your own desires.
Bloodlust, murder, chaos.
And most damning of all, an inability to follow orders.
I obeyed to the best of my ability!
And isn't that depressing?
You are nothing.
Minthara's mind connects with yours. Not strong as you remember, but fractured, disintegrating.
Come to observe, true soul. She is a lesson. None can rise so high that they cannot fall again. We are erasing her. Willful, though. But you are right. Whatever is useful, we will leave intact.
None of you will break me!
Wrong!
What is this? Pity? Rebellion? Blasphemy? Stand down, or we will put you down! I think not. You're dead.
The scent of blood is in the air. We shall carry the day. None shall defeat me.
You dared scar my mind. I've got you.
None can withstand nature's wrath.
I expected to be greeted as a hero. But the wretches imprisoned me and tried to tear my mind apart. I didn't think anyone would come for me. Erasing my thoughts and my will. Even I could not have endured for much longer. Agreed. Lead the way.
The corpse does not respond.
Awaiting orders. Fresh orders?
I've a lot on my mind and, well, in it.
Minthara is supposed to be in a cell. You have some explaining to do. The guard is happy to let you pass. Minthara is rather less happy about your choice of words.
Death is merely delayed. We will return and kill them all.
Our prisoners can be your bearers. from Gnomeback, I expect.
What is it? What's wrong? Go on. Move! The quicker, the better.
I last left Moonrise as a commander in the Absolute's army, obeying the voice of a god. I thought I had found a home and a purpose.
Now I leave as an exile. But you risked your life to rescue me. For that, I am grateful.
The artifact connects with her, pulling your minds together and showing her all that you have seen. The prism, your dream visitor, the protection that keeps you from obeying the Absolute and becoming a Lithid. She knows it all in a moment. Her mind reels, but is no longer clouded. She accepts the truth. She has no choice.
There is much we must discuss. Do you have a safe place to camp nearby?
Goodbye for now. I will see you soon.
Hey, soldier.
What's on your mind? Alas, no. The charm Elminster granted me requires my death as the spark that will light the orb's fuse. Making myself invulnerable, immortal, or in any other fashion unkillable would render it useless. And gods only know what it might do to the orb itself. Still, I see no harm in learning what we can about this night song. And if we manage to find it, the harm will be all Ketheric's. So, well worth indulging our curiosity.
It does not compare with the comforts of home, but your camp is almost palatial in comparison to my previous accommodation. Thank you for allowing me to come here, and for bringing me back to myself. Each memory that returns to me is more disturbing than the last. The things that I did in the name of the Absolute. The things that were done to me. They broke my mind. The best cure is vengeance. For both of us. While our tadpoles live, and the cult have the means to control them, we will never be safe. We must eradicate them. Starting with General Thorm. I mean Ketheric. My deference to him is a habit that will die hard, I fear. All that live can die. I can help you plot Ketheric's demise, but I need something from you first. Swear that you will keep me close. Until the Absolute is dead, at least. The Prism will protect me. You will fight alongside me and help me to get my vengeance. I knew you were different to other true souls when we met, but I could see nothing clearly. Now, thanks to the Prism, the Absolute does not cloud my thoughts at all. I see that together, we can have our vengeance on those who infected us. Rest well, and keep your wits about you. Tomorrow, we go to war with the cult of the Absolute. General Thorm would have the world believe that his invulnerability is a gift from the Absolute. That is a lie, intended to impress those who flock to the cult's cause, and to strike fear in the minds of those who stand against the Absolute. I believe Thorm draws his power not from a divine source, but an arcane one. I suspect it is the very relic that Balthazar has been sent to retrieve. We must find the Necromancer and claim what he seeks, or destroy it. Now, rest. We will need our strength for what lies ahead.
I do not sleep unless I wish to. Until I feel safe among this company, I shall spend my nights planning for the fights to come. Indeed. Ready when you are.
At your command.
things have stayed interesting.
In your name.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
The Drow is unpredictable, uncompromising. I respect her almost as much as I distrust her. Mark my words, this power would be no blessing, but a curse. You might as well ask me to gouge out my eyes for the promise of sight, or slice off my tongue for the promise of taste. The mere suggestion is an insult. Gladly.
Hello. You are not food. You are friend. Nice here. The caves smell like rotting meat. Goblin cat smells like goblins. Yes, fun. Ooh, more. Ooh, more.
It doesn't seem long ago that Minthara would have sought to kill us, and now we've welcomed her along. We're nothing if not magnanimous. That almost is doing a great deal of heavy lifting. That man changes allegiances more frequently than a courtesan changes their bed sheets. At least he's proof you can turn from Shah and live to tell the tale. Though some may not call that living. On one hand, they seem useful. But on the other hand, or perhaps tentacle before long, we know where they're coming from. And what lies at the end of that path. I never expected Ceramorphosis to be tempting. I think we should resist these powers. There's simply too many unknowns for us to risk it. It's been known to happen. Shah's blessings upon you. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't...
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
Copper for your thoughts? Hey, soldier. About that tadpole. Glad to see you haven't gone down the tadpole slorping route yet. We still don't know if that visitor has our best interests in mind. Me? Nope. Sorry. Good. And you know, keep an eye on yourself. If you start feeling loopy, shout. We don't know what these tadpoles are capable of.
In my years as the Blade, I've witnessed countless cruelties, faced unimaginable evil. But Thorm, He is made of pure hate. The Sword Coast will rejoice when the bastard's fallen. My father is somewhere in this tower. I won't leave him in Thorm's hands. And lest we forget, we've a devil to rescue. 2 missions, 1 destination.
Not in a mere prison cell, certainly. My guess, Thorm will have confined him in the bowels of the tower. The deeper we dig, the closer we get. I think that unknowable powers come with unknowable consequences. I can't say I'm not curious, but once you take an illithid by the talon, there's no telling how deep into the abyss it might drag you. All right, what else is on your mind?
I want to be clear. Letting Minthara tag along with us was your idea, so if you wake up with a dagger to your throat, that's on you. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry for looking out for our collective hides. But fine. Take her if you wish. Just know I'll be resting with one eye open.
Minthara's something of a closed book, but I suspect a heart of gold lurks beneath that stern countenance. Once she gets to know me, I'm sure she'll open up. She's just waiting for someone ready to listen.
Kethric's soul still nourishes the shadows.
Jacques Vernash do. I thought I'd seen the whole of you. Mighty as Tiamat's dragons, monumental as the one in the void. But now, I see more in you still. You are iron and steel, yes, but you are also silk and satin. Soon, I would know you again. Not to claw you, but to caress you. Not to be burned in your heat, but to be bathed in your warmth. As have I. Truthfully, it took more courage to ask for a soft touch than it would to meet the gaze of the ninefold dragon. Thus far I've taunted you, devoured you, battled you. Now, I want more than anything to soothe you.
The way she leered at me. The blood merchant. I can't get it out of my head. I did what I always did. I let her use me. Why does it feel different to all the other times then? Yes. I think something is wrong. There's nothing more desirable in the world than a vampire, is there? Haven't you been through all I have? You damn well are going to fight with what few assets the gods give you. But a part of me feels sick when I think about getting on my back for breadcrumbs again. All the promiscuous jibes paint a picture of someone who had relished the deed. You couldn't really have known. I had nothing at all for so long. Not even my body. That was owned by Cazador. To be sent out to tempt fools into his palace. I have bedded thousands of people. Half of them I barely remember. Most of them didn't even grant me temporary bliss. I thought it would be nothing at all to sell myself to that drow's fantasies, but the price was higher than I imagined. I don't want to do it again. I can stop using myself. Stop being used. It isn't worth the scars anymore.
By my oath.
Just a bad dream. It's all right.
Goblins had me in a cage, poked me with pointy sticks.
Hush now, it was just a nightmare. We're safe here, with Master. He'll settle in. Give it a little time. He's still young. I remember Gonwick would let me sleep under his cloak when I was a pup. It helps.
No hurt scratch? Never.
Easy now. The Guardian's just looking out for us. I suppose I did. You've been good to us. To both of us. Gonwick would be happy I'm with you, I think.
Like it here. Warm fire. Scratch reminds me of Big Brother. Used to. Mother ate him.
Thank you.
You wish to consult me?
Our enemies still draw breath.
You need my expertise.
Looking ahead.
You wish to consult me? I was the Absolute's dagger. I remember every throat that it held me to, and every drop of blood it forced me to spill. I take no responsibility for the lives I took. I did nothing in the Absolute's name. I was merely a weapon that it wielded.
I would rather die than endure it again. The tadpole, the Absolute, they work together like a drug. I did not feel I was compelled to act against my will. I felt ecstatic to serve. Every action seemed a deliberate choice, the best choice, even though I could no more have resisted its commands than flesh can resist decay. Even rational minds like ours cannot reject such a powerful influence. The Absolute can make the impossible seem inevitable.
I fought at his side once, shortly after my conversion. Before the battle, he was everything a general should be. A charismatic leader with a brilliant strategic mind. And when the fighting began, he led his troops from the front and cut through the enemy like a scythe through stalks. Blows and arrows rained down on him, and before long, his face was a mask of blood. But he did not fall. He did not even falter. When we won the day, Ketheric's armor was bent and shattered, but his flesh was unmarked. I have lived long enough to know that few things are impossible in this world. Ketheric's power is a rare thing, though. I have never seen its like. There is a connection to this night song of Balthazar's, whatever or whoever it might be. We must find it and destroy it. I took up my oath long ago, when I swore bloody vengeance against any who defied Lolth. Now, I myself have sinned against the Spider Queen. Though my faith is shattered, my oath endures. I am sworn to destroy all those who serve the Absolute. It is not noble, it is necessary. If we do not destroy the cultists, they will destroy everything. We are all that stands between this world and annihilation. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is tolerable, but her faith in the Lady of Loss is poisonous. The very concept of Sharan worship is self-indulgent. They would have you think every whispered word and hidden thought is of value, but it is not so. I have performed 1,000 interrogations, squeezing out the most guarded secrets held in heart, mind, and soul. I can tell you this. When the trivial parts have been whittled away and I have sifted through what remains, in most cases, a person amounts to nothing at all. He's been deprived of freedom and strong blood for so long that he is addicted to both. While those addictions have their hold on him, he is still a slave. No. He is well aware that I would exsanguinate him entirely if he flashed his fangs at me. Free. What purpose does he have that does not involve his master? He fears him, he hates him, he dreams of him, and he will either kill him or die trying. Astarion is no more free of Cazador than you or I are free of our tadpoles. He will only be free when Cazador is dead, and that is as it should be. When the time comes, we must hope that he does not only take Cazador's long life, but the power that has sustained him as well. I have encountered few Githyanki in my life. Those that I did were raiders. They croaked out pleas for mercy in their alien tongue as they died. Meeting Lae'zel makes me wish I knew more of their culture. I did. She told me that she has nothing to teach that cannot be learned through observation of her prowess in combat. Perhaps she is right. She certainly cuts a striking figure in battle. There is a precision to her ferocity that I admire. To one who only sees the surface of things, perhaps. You should look deeper. There is a fanaticism in the Lolth swarm that lends itself to chaos. They turn their blades on one another as readily as on outsiders. The Gith have stricter hierarchies and stronger commitment to a single cause. Some, like Lae'zel, question that cause. But even so, she retains the discipline of her training. The wizard? No. Their mastery of the weave is commendable, but they are poor conversationalists. In my experience, they do not usually live long enough to make the effort of befriending them worthwhile. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Our wizard is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke. I will reserve my social graces for those who might live long enough to appreciate them. He is exceedingly self-righteous. Amusing, considering he bound himself to a devil. Will doesn't just have blood and dirt on his hands. He has stains on his soul. Those last more than a lifetime. It is as it should be. Purity of soul and deed will not help us to survive the Absolute. I would rather be allied with a warlock than the spoiled son of a noble who has more experience with diplomats than devils. I have never known anyone so ferocious and unassailable in battle, and yet so fragile and impermanent in their very being. I often think of mortality as a curse. In time, all that I am and all that I have known and learned will be lost. In time, our cities will be dust. Karlach does not seem to have such anxieties. Perhaps because she cannot afford to. She exists in the moment, and she will burn out and be gone in a moment. There is something very beautiful about that.
Speak your mind. I'm listening. I'm listening. Exquisite, isn't it? The pain is a mutual promise branded on our flesh and bone. Inside your every wound lives my obsession. Inside my every wound lives your passion. You are Jacques Von Ashtur, source of my bruises. I had the audacity to invite a man of your talents to strike me. You had the courage to stand against me, unflinching. In so doing, you made yourself my possession and my obsession. Here, now. If it weren't apparent, it should be. I'm not keen on such outward displays of our flesh bond. Come, let me taste.
Camp life seems to suit the young owlbear. His coat of feathers seems fuller. His eyes look bright and inquisitive.